On a chilly February morning, a U.S. military aircraft cut through the skies above Amritsar, India. It carried an unusual cargo, over 100 Indian citizens, deported from the United States. This marked the first such mass deportation flight under President Trump's second term, casting a long shadow over U.S. India relations. The deportees, mostly young men from Punjab and Gujarat, were returning to a homeland they had left years, even decades ago. Many had sought a better life, chasing the American dream. Now they were back, stripped of their aspirations and burdened with the stigma of deportation. The flight, originating from Texas, marked the end of a long and arduous journey for these individuals. Many had risked their lives and spent their life savings to reach the US, only to be sent back, their dreams shattered. Their arrival in Amritsar served as a stark reminder of the human cost of stringent immigration policies and the complexities of the US-India relationship. The faces of the deportees reflected a mix of emotions, despair, anger, and resignation. Driven by poverty, lack of opportunities, and the allure of the American dream, they had gambled their futures on a perilous journey. Many had paid exorbitant sums to human smugglers, undertaking dangerous journeys across borders, often referred to as the donkey route. They had worked menial jobs, lived in the shadows, and clung to the hope of a better future. Some had even started families in the US, only to be torn apart by deportation. Their stories are a testament to the human cost of restrictive immigration policies and the desperation that fuels illegal migration. The journey back was equally arduous. Held in detention centers, they were processed and put on a flight back to a country they barely remembered. The future remained uncertain, their dreams lay shattered, and the stigma of deportation awaited them back home. At Sri Guru Ram Das Ji International Airport in Amritsar, a somber mood prevailed. Punjab's NRI Affairs Minister, Kuldeep Singh Dhaliwal, was present to receive the deportees. His presence highlighted the state government's responsibility to provide support and rehabilitation to these individuals. The scene was a stark contrast to the joyous homecomings usually witnessed at the airport. Families of the deportees were conspicuously absent, reflecting the stigma associated with deportation. The returnees were greeted by officials, aid workers, and a battery of media personnel, their cameras flashing, capturing the raw emotion etched on their faces.
We assure you of the government's support. Rehabilitation programs will be put in place, and we are committed to addressing the root causes of illegal migration.
His words, however, offered little solace to those who had just landed, their dreams shattered, facing an uncertain future in a land they had left behind. This mass deportation is not an isolated incident. It reflects a larger trend of increasing deportations of Indian nationals from the US. According to official figures, over 1,100 Indians were deported between October 2023 and September 2024, a significant jump from previous years. US officials estimate that approximately 18,000 Indians are currently residing in the US illegally. The cost of these deportations is substantial, with each flight estimated to cost around $4,675 per migrant. These figures underscore the significant financial burden borne by both the US and Indian governments in dealing with illegal immigration. The increasing numbers also highlight the need for a comprehensive approach to address the issue, one that goes beyond just punitive measures. The reasons behind the surge in deportations are complex and multifaceted. The Trump administration's hardline stance on immigration, coupled with the COVID-19 pandemic's economic fallout, has contributed to the increase. Furthermore, the US Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, has classified India as uncooperative in accepting deportees, further complicating the situation. This mass deportation comes at a delicate time for US-India relations. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is scheduled to visit Washington soon, and immigration is expected to be high on the agenda.
The incident has the potential to strain ties between the two countries, highlighting the complexities of their bilateral relationship. The US has defended its actions, asserting its right to enforce immigration laws. The Trump administration has repeatedly urged India to cooperate in curbing illegal immigration. They have called for India to expedite the verification process of deportees and to accept them without delay.
India, on the other hand, while acknowledging the need to address illegal immigration, has maintained that it will only accept individuals who are verified Indian nationals. The Indian government has also expressed concerns about the humanitarian aspects of deportation, urging the US to treat deportees with dignity and respect. Indian migration to the US has a long and complex history. The first wave of Indian immigrants arrived in the late 19th century, mostly as laborers working on railroads and farms. Over the decades, the profile of Indian immigrants has evolved with highly skilled professionals, particularly in the IT and healthcare sectors, forming a significant portion of the diaspora.
The U.S., for many Indians, has represented a land of opportunity, a place to build a better future. However, the path to achieving the American dream has not been easy. Indian immigrants, like many other immigrant groups, have faced discrimination, racism, and xenophobia. Despite the challenges, the Indian diaspora has thrived, contributing significantly to the economic, social, and cultural fabric of the U.S.
The recent deportations, however, have cast a shadow on this narrative of success. They have brought to the forefront the vulnerabilities faced by a section of the Indian community in the U.S., those living in the shadows, constantly fearing detention and deportation. The incident has also sparked a debate about the moral and economic implications of U.S. immigration policies. Among the deportees was Harpreet Singh, a young man from a village near Amritsar. He had left for the U.S. 5 years ago, hoping to earn enough to support his aging parents and younger siblings. He worked as a truck driver, sending money back home every month. His deportation has left his family in despair, their hopes of a better future dashed.
Another deportee, Vikram Patel, had been living in the U.S. for over a decade. He had a small business and a young family. He was picked up by ICE during a routine traffic stop, and despite having no criminal record, was detained and subsequently deported. His family, now torn apart, is struggling to cope with the emotional and financial burden of his absence.
These are just two of the many heart-wrenching stories that emerged from the deportation flight. Each deportee had a story to tell, a dream shattered, a life disrupted. Their experiences highlight the human cost of stringent immigration policies and the urgent need for a more humane and compassionate approach to immigration. The outcome of Prime Minister Modi's visit will be crucial in shaping the future trajectory of US-India relations. Whether the two countries can find a way to cooperate on immigration while addressing their respective concerns remains to be seen. The future of thousands of Indians living in the US and the families they left behind hangs in the balance. The US, under the Trump administration, has adopted a hardline approach to immigration, focusing on border security and enforcement. India, on the other hand, is grappling with its own set of challenges related to migration, both internal and external. The balancing act of addressing domestic concerns while engaging with the US on the issue of illegal immigration will require deft diplomacy. The mass deportation of Indian nationals has cast a long shadow on US-India relations. It has the potential to become a major point of contention in bilateral discussions, particularly during Prime Minister Modi's upcoming visit to Washington. The incident has highlighted the divergent views on immigration between the two countries and the challenges in finding common ground.